Welcome back to the channel. If you didn't know, my name is Siezaboo and today's Monday, which means it's time for another episode of Siezaboo's Manga Talk. We've been taking a look at the Pokemon Adventure series, and today we're going to be taking a look at chapters 15 through 18. They're actually some of my favorite chapters that I've read in the story so far, so let's go ahead and get started with the review. Since this is the beginning of the second volume, we are greeted with another message from one of the creators. This time, the artist's motto. Pokemon don't move in the video games, but in my manga, they run around all over the place. What's the most interesting way to show each Pokemon in action? I care a lot about that. I would be very happy if after reading this manga, people who have never heard of Pokemon before become fans, and if Pokemon fans grow to love Pokemon even more than before. Motto, 1998. Adventure 15. Wartortle Wars. A young girl sits in a lookout tower, looking down on our hero Red as he wins yet another Pokemon battle. She seems to be picking out her next victim. Or, her words, an unsuspecting fool. As Red finishes his Pokemon battle, his Bulbasaur evolves into Ivysaur. Red doesn't have long to celebrate though. The girl from the watchtower comes down and cheers. "You must be such a good Pokemon trainer. It was so thrilling to watch you in action." Red soaks in the attention, but is suddenly thrown off when she throws a bunch of items and accessories in front of him. "If only you had some Pokemon items, accessories to make your Pokemon even stronger." She begins to explain to Red that the only way he'll get stronger is if he uses her items, for a price of course, and a hefty one. Our boy Red falls for the girl's charms and cute looks, and for a small price of 6,000 Poké, Red decides to help her out. She thanks him for buying her super duper powerful items and accessories and takes off, snickering under her breath. At first, Red seems really happy and figures that he helped out a young girl in need. Red decides to take Pikachu and test out his new accessories, making Pikachu his test dummy. He sends him into battle and gets his butt kicked pretty hard. So hard that the 6,000 Poké worth of accessories is instantly destroyed. "Something tells me I got ripped off," Red screams. After a hard loss, Red takes Pikachu to a random Pokemon Center to rest and decides to give Oak a call. The two exchange information back and forth. Oak even is impressed by little Bulbasaur growing into a strong Ivysaur. He even mentions that Blue's Charmander is a Charmeleon now, the last of the three that my research has been focusing on. Red is confused and asks what he means by 3. That's when he admits that the Squirtle he had was actually stolen from him by a Pokemon trainer. Lost in thought and still mad about being ripped off, he actually runs into the girl scamming innocent bystanders again. He rushes towards her, and that's when she sends out Wartortle. She hops on its back, and the two make for a run down the stream, but Red is 2 steps ahead of her and blocks her path with his Snorlax. Wartortle and the girl are completely stopped. Red charges towards her, but she instantly hugs him and cheers when she sees him. "I really wanted to see you again," she cheers. She asks for forgiveness, but of course it's a trick. She was stalling for Wartortle to get back on its feet. It uses Bubble Beam, but Snorlax is completely unbothered. Snorlax slams into the ground with a powerful earthquake and knocks the girl and the Wartortle out cold. Red takes the opportunity to learn about Wartortle and realizes that it must be the stolen Squirtle. He also tries to get his stolen money back and notices her name on the wallet, Green. After Red is done with his investigation, he leaves her to rest under a tree. "Stay out of trouble," he cheers and walks off. But something is wrong, as Green is snickering under her breath and letting Red get away. Once Red gets back to the hotel, he realizes his badges have been stolen, and they were taken by Green during their battle. There are some things money just can't buy. Adventure 16, Tauros the Tyrant. At the Rocket game, Team Rocket plans their next move, hunting down the girl known as Green, and it looks like a familiar face has joined them in disguise. Red, annoyed and determined to get his gym badges back from Green, has joined Team Rocket. Earlier, Red had noticed that Team Rocket was looking for her for some reason, so while one of the grunts wasn't looking, he knocked him out and took his uniform. While at their base, he has also learned that they are up to something very sinister. There is a strange Pokemon in a chamber. It looks as if they're creating it, but what is it? Red listens in on a man with glasses talking to one of the grunts. "As you can see, we're creating Mewtwo from the Mew cell you recovered. Unfortunately, that cell lacks the genetic data to create a complete body." Red goes on to learn that they need data to complete Mewtwo, but it was stolen. By Green, of course. Suddenly, Red hears that they've spotted her, and the grunts rush out to nab her. Red joins them, but still thinks that maybe she can't be all that bad if she's trying to stop Team Rocket. In an open field, dozens of Team Rocket grunts have Green and her Wartortle cornered and surrounded. She flaunts off the data disk and begins to battle them. The Team Rocket grunts are no match for Green's slick and clever Wartortle. One of the grunts has had it with Green and sends out Tauros to use its special attack. Ha ha ha! This Tauros was once called the King of the Safari Zone. It's the leader of the herd, and it has the power to control other Pokemon with a swish of its tail. It whips its tail with a strong snap and the other Pokemon become coordinated. They manage to knock the disc out of Wartortle's claws and into Team Rocket's hands. She quickly switches to another Pokemon, a cute little jelly-like Pokemon. But Team Rocket still corners her and forces her to the edge of a cliff. That's when Red has finally had enough and swoops in to save Green from the charging Tauros. Tauros and Green's Pokemon fall off the cliff together. "You came to rescue me? My hero." Tauros climbs back up, and Team Rocket commands it to finish off Red and Green. And with another strong snap of its tail, it actually controls the other Pokemon to turn onto Team Rocket's grunts. Green throws off Red's Team Rocket uniform, fully revealing him to the grunts. Green grabs Red, and they float away off of Green's transforming Pokemon. But Team Rocket has won. They managed to still get the disc from Green. Back at Team Rocket's lair, Red and Green hide and plan their next move. "Barely got away from him with our lives. Next thing you know, she's making me lead her right to the lair." Red isn't very happy to be back, also considering that they managed to nab the disc too, or did they? Green reveals that she's had the real disc the entire time, and that she gave them a fake one. She's looking for the real Mew before Team Rocket can find it. For profit, of course. We move on now to Adventure 17, the Jinx. The Mew that Team Rocket has been following this whole time has actually been Green's cute little Ditto the entire time. And Green has one last plan to fool Team Rocket once and for all. While I track down the real Mew, Ditto will keep that silly Team Rocket company. Oh, and remember, they think that you and I are partners now, so you have to help me with this. So that was the reason behind her revealing him to Team Rocket. Sneaky and clever as always, Green. It doesn't take Team Rocket long to realize that Green has given them a fake disc, and they deploy all of their grunts to search for her and Red. Then Green pulls out a special device that allows her to track psychic Pokemon based on their special energy that they emit, and Red begins to help her with her hunt. Along the way, Red explains that Team Rocket is creating Mewtwo. Green shows a little concern, but reminds Red that she is here to catch Mew, and it will stop Team Rocket and net her some cash if their plan goes through. Without warning, while Green is still fantasizing about Mew, Mew actually appears in front of them. Ivysaur and Wartortle begin the battle, with trying to capture it. Mew is fast and powerful. The two begin to wonder if they even stood a chance. Wartortle uses Hydro Pump, and Ivysaur grabs Mew with a powerful Vine Whip. Just when Red and Green think that they've won, Team Rocket appears on a nearby cliff with Jinx. Red quickly tells Green to take Mew and escape, and Jinx crashes down on Red with a powerful Psybeam attack. Green is thrown back by Red's generosity, and even though she hesitates, takes Red up on his offer and tries to make a run for it with Mew. But Team Rocket uses another powerful Psybeam attack and reaches out and grabs Mew. Red throws out Poliwhirl, and it and Jinx collide in battle. Mew has already had enough and breaks free, freezing Team Rocket in place and knocking them cold. It gives Red and Green a look of gratitude and then vanishes. Green falls to her knees. It's gone. But Red sees it as a win, gladly knowing that it got away and away from Team Rocket again. Team Rocket is defeated, and Green says that she at least got some photos to make a quick buck and dashes away. Red realizes that he never got his badges back, and just as he's about to dash for her, he notices that his pockets are a little heavier than usual. Inside is a note thanking him and his lost badges. Maybe Green isn't bad after all. Our last chapter for the episode is Adventure 18, The Tales of Ninetales. Meanwhile, we join our hero's rival, Blue. He has a stack of coins from winning at the game corner, and he decides that he wants to spend his winnings on a new Pokemon. The man at the corner warns Blue that the Pokemon at the game corner are a lot harder to train, but Blue doesn't seem to be bothered by the man's words. Red has made his way to the outskirts of Celadon City, when suddenly, a Pokemon zaps past him. Blue and Red bump into each other, and their Pokeballs scatter everywhere. Blue quickly gets up and tries to chase after the Pokemon, and when he finally calls it back to his Pokeball, Red realizes the Pokemon's a Porygon and belongs to Blue. It's extremely misbehaved, and as a result of being at the game corner, just like the man said. They warned me it would be hard to control because I didn't catch it myself. This is ridiculous. I can hardly use it. Red tries to ask Blue more questions, but he takes off. Typical Blue. That's when two young girls and a horde of Pokémon appear over the hill. Red steps in, wanting to be the hero, and he calls out for his Pikachu. And that's when out comes Charmeleon. Oh no, you don't think. He tries calling out his other Pokémon, but none of them are his. Scyther, Pidgeot, Machoke, and Golduck. It was Blue's team. The girls are shocked and mistake Red for the famous Blue. But Red isn't worried about all that. He's worried about the stampeding Pokémon. He tries to command Charmeleon, but instead is squished by Rhyhorn. Blue's Pokémon won't listen to Red at all. And feeling defeated, Red begins to search for Blue. Along the way, he tries to be friends with Charmeleon, but he's not biting. Well, I mean, he's actually biting at Red, but not biting at friendship. You get the picture. Red decides that maybe Blue's team needs a break, so he offers them to go for a swim, but none of them seem very thrilled. They all just want to get back to training and getting stronger. Meanwhile, Blue has discovered that his entire team is different, and even the Pokédexes are different. It's Red's Pokédex. He takes time to train Red's team and learns more about them with the Dex. 3 days pass, and one night while resting, Red finally sees Blue. He and Pikachu are battling a Ninetales. Red wants in and sends out a Machoke. He and Blue cross paths when Machoke pins down Ninetales and also gets hit with a powerful flame attack. Suddenly Machoke evolves into Machamp and overpowers the Ninetales. The two begin bickering when they realize that Ninetales is about to get away. They both throw a Pokeball at the same time and it's caught, but who caught it? Blue finally wins the fight of who caught what when he blurts out that it was his Machoke, or rather Machamp, that took it down. After all is said and done, Red storms off. I trained his Pokemon to be twice the fighters they were, and he didn't do a thing with mine. That's when he notices that his team is looking a little bit different. They have that look in their eyes, kind of like Blue, oh no. And that is going to be it for today's 4 adventure chapters, and I gotta say, it is actually some of my favorite chapters in the entire series. First of all, Wartortle gets its own chapter, and if you all didn't know, Wartortle just so happens to be my favorite Pokemon of all time. I also love Green's character and how she's slick and conniving and has cute and charmness to her, and how she's kind of like a unique rival to Red, a really good counterpart other than Blue. What else to talk about? Also, the battles. Oh my gosh, the battles once again are amazing. The battle even with the filler episode of them just trying to catch Ninetales is really cool. Also, Green riding on her Wartortle and just the unique way that Wartortle and Ivysaur are used to try to capture Mew. Also, the creation of Mewtwo. I even saw Blaine in there, so we're probably going to see more of him later on. And of course, we have, once again, the filler episodes as well. They're unique, they're funny, they're charming. We're still getting to know more about Blue and what he is like. And then, of course, we've gotten plenty of Green so far. We know that, you know, what she's like. And then now there's also a clear clarification on how many gym badges Red finally has. I was beginning to lose count. I know that Lieutenant Surge is a gym leader, but I guess he didn't get a badge beating him up on a boat, so I'm sure that we'll be seeing him later. But that is going to be all for today's episodes. Thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll catch you all next time with the next episode of Siezaboo's Manga Talk. Until then, peace out. Bye.